Now, we all know that the US military is scary as shit. No one would with the, you know what I mean? But today we're going to be checking out why no nation on planet Earth would even think about invading. Never mind how they'd survive it. Good evening. Hello. Welcome to the show. Hope you've had a great weekend. Yo, if we haven't met yet, by the way, my name's Adam. It's great to meet you. And if you're new to the channel, you know, introduce yourself in the comments. I'll say hello and we'll become friends for the rest of our life. I mean, how has my wire got stuck inside my fucking wheel here, man? My wires come off my headset and is inside the wheel.
Picture every country as a medieval castle,
Okay.
complete with towering walls, secret traps, and all sorts of defenses to protect the crown.
Okay.
In this scenario, the United States stands out as the toughest castle in the world. So when someone asks, what would it really take to invade the United States?
What would it take?
It opens up a fascinating conversation about how geography, demographics,
What do you guys think it would take? What would it be? Think about it. Give me something in the comments.
and military strength come together to make the US one of the hardest countries to invade in modern history. But to understand why invading America is so difficult, we need to start with what makes invasions successful in the first place. Military historians point to several key factors: the element of surprise,
World War II.
manageable supply lines, and crucially, the ability to establish a foothold and expand from there. It just so
I mean,
happens
it's all going to come down to money. In today's society, in today's world, money is king, right? If you got a load of money, your military's going to be badass. I think, how much does the US spend on military each year now? Like $1 trillion? $1 trillion. Like, say that word out loud. Say it out loud. Go. Crazy word, innit?
that America's
Insane.
unique geographic position eliminates almost every advantage that has made invasions in the past possible. Let's start with the most obvious barrier: the oceans. The United States sits between two of the world's largest bodies of water. The Atlantic Ocean stretches
the
roughly
Pacific?
3,000 miles to Europe, while the Pacific spans an even more formidable 5,000 miles
What?
to Asia.
I thought that, well, I was today years old. I had no idea, man. No, technically, we go from here, though, do we not, Hawaii? That is nuts.
But it's not just about distance. It's about what that distance means for a would-be invader. You see, modern naval warfare depends heavily on supply chains, fuel, and the ability to maintain communication across vast distances. Any naval force attempting to cross either ocean
hell's
to
going on
invade
here?
America would be operating at the extreme limits of its logistical capabilities. Consider this. The D-Day invasion, one of the most successful amphibious assaults in history, involved crossing just 100 miles of the English Channel. Roughly speaking, it required approximately 156,000 Allied troops, around 5,000 ships, and months of preparation, all supported by established bases in Britain.
Damn.
Now imagine scaling that operation across 3,000 to 5,000 miles of open ocean, with no friendly territory to stage from. The logistics behind such an invasion become even more daunting when you consider detection. Modern satellite surveillance, radar networks, and maritime patrol aircraft make it virtually impossible to move large naval forces without
being
anybody
seen.
noticing.
That's the thing now today. Like today's wars are, honestly, man, in a very short time period, I think all wars will just be drones, man. Somebody sitting in a computer room playing with the drone, and that's how they fight. Like a flipping video game, man. Moving big ships like that now in today's, you're going to be seen by everyone, bro. Everyone's going to see you coming.
Spotted days, if not weeks, before reaching American shores, giving U.S. forces more than enough time to prepare defensive positions. But what about launching an invasion from neighboring countries? After all, the United States shares borders with Canada and Mexico. Surely that creates vulnerability, right? Unfortunately for any invader, they're deeply integrated into American military and economic systems. Canada is a NATO member and one of America's closest security partners. Mexico, while not in NATO, has extensive military cooperation agreements with the US and depends heavily on American trade. For any hostile nation to use these countries
Yo,
as
America-
invasion routes, they would first
America just has them all in the palm of their hand, don't they, like?
need to conquer or coerce them. In other words, they would essentially have to launch two separate military campaigns before even reaching American territory. This would require force projections of unprecedented scale and would trigger immediate American response. But let's imagine, hypothetically, that all of that somehow became possible. Even then, the geographic challenges are staggering. An invasion from the north would have to cross the Canadian Shield, a massive area of rocky terrain and forests, then navigate the Great Lakes region. The US military could easily cut supply lines by controlling key transportation hubs like...
That's going to be the same for the US, though, right? If whatever country is invading the US, like, they're not going to get far, man. How are they going to get through, you know, like, Wyoming and Montana and all them, like... Because that's crazy, like, biomes, isn't it? Like, the weather there's insane. Hills, mountains are everywhere. They're not gonna be able to move, man.
Winnipeg.
In fact, I think it would be in America's advantage if a country tried to invade and got to that point. America would have the advantage because they would be out in the open, seen from every single fucking angle.
Or Thunder Bay, effectively isolating any northern advance. From the south, invaders would face a large concentration of American military power. Recent deployments have placed thousands of American troops along the Mexican border. Any large-scale military movement would
You see what I mean? Look at all this. Look at all this openness, man. They're gonna see. You're gonna be seen, so don't even bother.
Once again be detected immediately, and the attacking force would have to advance through some of the most challenging terrain in North America, including the Sonoran and Chihuahuan deserts.
Told you.
But here's where America's defensive advantages become even more pronounced. Let's say the invading force somehow established a foothold on American soil. They would immediately confront what you could call a natural defensive line. The United States is essentially divided by a series of geographic barriers that would force any invading army to fight for every mile of advance.
Yep.
The Rocky Mountain chain runs like a spine through the western part of the country, creating natural choke points that favor America.
Choke them out!
The Mississippi River system divides the country into distinct regions, each requiring separate river crossings under fire. Military history shows us how devastating river crossings can be. During the Civil War, battles like Fredericksburg and Antietam demonstrated the enormous casualties that result from forced river crossings against prepared defenses. Now imagine attempting such crossings against modern military technology, precision artillery, air support, and guided munitions, all directed by satellite surveillance and real-time intelligence. There is absolutely no shot of sustaining an invasion in this case. But perhaps America's most unique defensive advantage is its civilian population, specifically its relationship with firearms. The United States has the highest rate of civilian gun ownership in the world, with 120.5 firearms for every 100 civilians. To put that into perspective, Switzerland only has 27.58 firearms for every 100 civilians.
120 firearms per 100 civilians. So that basically means on average, everyone has a firearm.
This creates a scenario that military planners would probably call a strategic nightmare. It's one thing to defeat a conventional army. It's different to occupy a territory where a significant portion of the civilian population is armed and more than likely hostile. History provides sobering examples of what this looks like. The Soviets in Afghanistan, the Americans in Iraq, and various other occupations throughout the 20th century demonstrate that even the world's most powerful militaries struggle against determined civilian resistance. About 72% of American gun owners cite protection as their primary reason for ownership, suggesting a population already mentally prepared for...
I mean, what else would you have it going for? 75% says for protection. Oh, for hunting. Okay, I didn't see these. Sorry, my bad. Let's have a look. Sports shooting. Yeah. Part of a gun collection. Love that.
Already mentally prepared for defensive scenarios. Then there's the simple matter of scale. The United States covers approximately 3.7 million square miles, making it the third largest country in the world by land area. It is larger than Australia, which has an area of about 2.9 million square miles. The US is more than twice the size of the European Union, which covers around 1.7 million square miles. Additionally,
That's
the
insane,
US is
by the way.
roughly comparable in size to the entire continent of Europe, which has an area of about 3.9 million square miles. The
Crazy.
distances involved are shocking from a military perspective. The distance from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles is about 2,700 miles. In order to sustain any kind of invasion on America, the
40
occupying
are-
force would need to maintain supply lines across these vast distances, while facing
Impossible.
constant harassment from both organized military resistance.
It's literally impossible then. Okay, there's absolutely no way they're getting across here with supply chains and invading the whole thing. Absolutely no way. If any world leaders out there are watching this and you think in the future that you want to take on the US, that just don't, mate. Because you'll lose a lot. It'll be embarrassing, almost, probably. It'll be embarrassing. So let's just...
supply lines across these vast distances, while facing constant harassment from both organized military resistance
Civilians.
and civilian populations. Modern military thinking focuses on quick and decisive actions, because long campaigns can get really expensive and hard to manage. Given the vast size of the United States, pulling off a rapid takeover is pretty much impossible, and keeping troops in place for a long time would cost a fortune. Consider the economic cost for America during the Iraq and Afghanistan campaigns. Both campaigns involved far smaller territories and populations, but still cost the United States trillions of dollars over 2 decades. The scale required to occupy a territory the size of America would dwarf these figures by orders of magnitude. Of course, there's one last factor: nuclear weapons. The United States maintains one of the world's largest nuclear arsenals, and American nuclear doctrine makes it clear that existential threats to the homeland would likely trigger nuclear response. This creates what is also known as mutually assured destruction. Any conventional invasion large enough to threaten American territory would likely escalate to nuclear conflict long before achieving its objectives.
Yeah, let me just... And let's not do nuclear war, because that's fucking everyone up, Nuclear war is just... nuclear... That is the worst possible type of shit that could happen.
Reality fundamentally
Let's not do
changes the
that.
calculus for any potential adversary that is thinking about invading America.
Damn.
So, to return to our original question, what would it really take to invade the United States? The answer to that question reveals why no serious military strategist considers a conventional invasion of America a viable option.
It's impossible.
It simply just wouldn't be worth it.
Not happening.
But what do you think?
I'll
Where
tell
do
you
you
what I
think
think.
America stacks up in terms of national defense? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Let's just not do it, man. Let's just put a pin in it. Let's just call a spade a spade. If you're thinking of invading the US, you're writing your own death certificate. Okay? Watching that video is just a reminder again of how crazy America is and how powerful it could be if they need to be. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have good rest of your weekend. Have a good one.